today we're doing my official League One predictions for the upcoming 23-24 season. If you enjoyed this video, please just smash that subscribe button. That's all I'm going to ask for. Without any further ado, let's get right into it with my bottom side for the season. So here are the tiers: automatic promotion, playoffs, top half, mid-table, surviving, and relegation. And I'm going to get into this one with, I'm sorry, I hate to pick a team to go down, but I have to. And I'm going to go right here for Carlisle United. I know it's just not very, kind of cowardly to go and pick the team that just got promoted through the playoffs to get relegated. But it's what I'm going to do. Not a League One squad, in my opinion. Paul Simpson is a good manager, but still, this is going to be very, very hard to do, in my opinion. I do not see this happening. So, Carlisle, you're getting relegated. All right, then, next up, I am going to go for Cambridge. Another team, Cambridge. I just don't think they're strong enough, in my opinion. It's just they just survived last year. I do not know how MK Dons went down. I was rooting for Dons to go down, to stay up actually, but in the end they did go down. So again, this is a very hard prediction list to make. But here, League One team that isn't with a lot of the strong teams getting promoted last year, but a lot of the weak teams getting relegated. So it's kind of just mid-table teams in this league. But right here, I am going to go for Cambridge to go down. All right, then, I had to pick two more sides to go down here because League One relegates 4 teams down to League Two. And this is tough. The team I have picked, though, where'd you go, is Burton Albion. Burton Albion, go right. No, I want to edit the tier. Burton Albion can go right there because I just think that they're getting relegated, in my opinion. I don't see it going well. It's not going to be a good season. You just got over the line. That manager, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, that you had a couple years ago, is no longer at the club. So I don't see this being a swift season. It's not going to be a good one, in my opinion. And then just getting relegated by the skin of their teeth, in my opinion, I have gone for Northampton Town, the Cobblers, to not have a great season. And yeah, I just don't see it going really that well. It's not going to be a great one, in my opinion. It's going to be a really hard season. I don't see it going well for Northampton Town. With this league is pretty competitive. And yeah, I don't see it. English soccer is really competitive, and I don't think they're going to really necessarily be cut adrift, but I don't see it going that well. So yeah, I don't think you want to get stuck on that iceberg, Northampton. You have to be careful and capitalize on those first few games of the season. So yeah, it is going to be really tough. And then my first team, just getting over the line, surviving. I have gone for Fleetwood Town. Fleetwood seems to do this every year, honestly. It's like, they just really do this every year. Just getting over the line, it's like the most Fleetwood thing to do. And yeah, I just see them missing out. Barely, but on getting relegated. But I do think that they will ultimately survive, and that's going to be the important thing. Fleetwood fans, what do you think? I know I said flans, but it's fans. Alright, then, surviving and getting over the line, I have gone for Stevenage. Stevenage, another team that just got promoted, but I think you will survive, as I've only gone for 2 of the promoted teams to get relegated. That's half. That's pretty good that a lot of them are staying up. But yeah, I think looking at the teams we have here, I feel like some teams are missing, but they can't possibly be. But I think that these teams should stay up and get over the line indeed. So yes, I have gone for Stevenage to get over the line. Great new badge, by the way. Very modern, very simple. I really like it. Alright, then our next team, just getting over the line, I am gone for Port Vale. Port Vale are always in this category, it seems like, of just getting over the line type of team. But I think that they will get there. And yeah, League One, they did okay to start off last year and then ultimately ended a little lower. I know there are the teams coming down from the championship are not looking that strong in particular. In fact, some people haven't gone for any of them to even make the playoffs. But I think, which is a very weird thing in English football. But yeah, I think this season is not going to suck too much. So yeah, you will have good luck here in this one. All right, then moving on to the next team, in my opinion, I have gone for Bristol Rovers. Another tricky season for Bristol Rovers. You haven't been doing that great ever since that season you had in League 2, but now you're still in League 1, and yeah, I just see this one going kind of mid, in my opinion. Just really, really mid. It's not going to be the best season. I think that you will stay up, though, and yeah, you're going to be my last team in that surviving category. Bristol Rovers, that's where I'm putting you. Alright, then moving on to 16th place for this season. I'm kind of contradicting myself on this one, but I'm going to go for Cheltenham. Cheltenham, you lost Alfie May. It's going to be really, really hard. You lost him to a League One rival in Charlton Athletic. So that's going to be very, very hard. But I still see you there in that mid-table category. Cheltenham, you always get the job done at the end. And Cheltenham, you have one of the most clever logos in the league, probably in all of English soccer. If you look at it, it's a bird. I know it looks like some kind of coral reef, but that red sliver towards the right is like a bird's head, and then the wings are those two other prongs on it. So yeah, that's a little Insane Zane soccer fun fact for the day. Alright, then moving on to the next team, finishing in 15th place. This one is going to be interesting, but I'm going to go for Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient in 15th. I just don't see it being the best season, in my opinion. It's coming for Leyton Orient's League One standards. It's going to be a fantastic season for them because they just got promoted. But yeah, Leyton Orient, I think that you will have a good season, and this is going to be a great one. The fans will be loving it, Leyton. Alright, then moving on to the next team. I have gone for Exeter City. Exeter City, second year in League One after that amazing promotion. And yeah, did better than Forest Green last year, so I think that this one won't be the worst season, and I think you will do alright. By the way, my Forest Green prediction is of 7th place and just missing out on playoffs last year, while what actually happened was you finished bottom and got cut adrift by what seemed like 1,000,000 points. So yeah, that was probably my worst prediction in the history of this channel. But anyway, that's where I'm putting you, mid-table. Alright, moving on to our next team. I've gone for Oxford United. Oxford United are just a side that got over the line last year barely in 19th place. But yeah, I don't see it happening so close this year. I see it being a lot easier for you guys, and I do definitely see a pretty solid mid-table finish here. Oxford, you're getting 13th place from me. Moving on then to 12th place, we're going to go with a certain Wigan Athletic, who just finished bottom of the championship last year. That's the second tier, if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do, though. So, yeah, relegated down to League One. And I think that with that 8-point deduction, in the loss of Will Keane, I think you still have Callum Lang, don't you? But yeah, the loss of Will Keane, it's going to be just some rebuilding. And the other team with the takeover that yet I predicted wrong, and they didn't do nearly as good as I thought they would. Alright then, moving on to our next side. Who's it going to be? Lincoln. Lincoln do this a lot, and this year they're my 11th place team. They just draw tons of games. They love to draw tons of games, Lincoln. They always draw games and draw games. So yeah, Lincoln, they're my bet just to finish solid top half side in League One. I don't see any significant changes. Alright, then we got a pretty stacked team. If this was just like a top half league, look at these teams: Reading, Blackpool, Barnsley, Bolton, Peterborough, Derby, Portsmouth, Wickham, Charlton, Shrewsbury. And the next team on the list here I'm going for is going to be Wickham. Wickham they've gotten weaker since losing Gareth Ainsworth. Simple as. And I don't think we're going to have the best season in my opinion. So Wickham, yes, Ryan Tafazzoli, what a legend, man. But I just don't see this happening really that easily. So yeah, Wickham finishing top half in that 10th place spot. Alright then, moving on to our next team, I have gone for Shrewsbury. There you go. Alright, in that 9th place. They had a really good season last year, and I think they'll continue to do that. These predictions are crucial for me to get right. My life depends on it. It's more than life or death. So yes, I have to get these ones right. So Shrewsbury I have put here for 9th place. Alright, then in 8th place, I am going to go for Charlton. No, not in the mid-table category, but Charlton in that 8th place spot. And yeah, because the signing of Alfie May is ridiculous. It's so good. How much more do I even have to say? Alfie May, what a signing, bro. And that's going to be amazing. I just see that just being a breeze through with Alfie May. You'll get top half and you won't make the playoffs. You'll miss out by just a weensy bit. But then our next team here, also missing out on the playoffs, is going to wish they never did. It's going to be Reading. And I got to drag Reading all the way here into that top half slot. So yeah, top half is going to be Reading. They're finishing the season in that 7th place, in my opinion. Because just coming down, you're losing your manager. I don't know how good of a job Noel Hunt's going to do. He's just probably not even going to be there. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one for the likes of Reading Football Club to cope with this league. But good luck, and I hope you do somewhat well. Alright then, moving on to our next team, who's just going to make those playoffs by the skin of their teeth. I have gone for Derby to do that. Derby to make playoffs, not a big shout, but I think it's like decent to say that they're probably going to make playoffs. This league has gotten weaker with the 3 promoted teams who absolutely ate up the league are just going to, yeah, they're out of the league now, so no one has to worry about them. They're like playground bullies, honestly. And yeah, I just don't see it working well for the teams if those 3 were in the league like last year. So yeah, Derby to not have an absolute garbage season, to finish inside the playoffs, but barely so. Alright, then moving on to our next team, I have gone for, tricked you, it's going to be Portsmouth in 5th place. They're going to do okay, in my opinion. Portsmouth in 5th. I don't see it being too much of a shocker because the team has strengthened and the league has weakened. So yeah, Portsmouth in 5th, the Seaside Village. If they get promoted and Southampton doesn't, that will mean we'll have Portsmouth and Southampton in the same league. What a rivalry that will be. Alright, then moving on to our next team. It's Barnsley. Yes, Barnsley have a good team, but you lost your miracle-working manager, Michael Duff, who took you to that playoff final. And yeah, it's going to be hard like that. I just don't see it going well, in my opinion, with losing your miracle-working manager like that. He's gone to Swansea and in the south of Wales, so it's going to be tough for the Yorkshire side to recover in a way like this. But I still think you'll get playoffs. You'll be comfortable in there. Good luck in the playoffs. Alright, then moving on next, it's Peterborough, in my opinion. Peterborough are there. And now you can see the 2 teams who I have getting promoted from the division. But Peterborough, I think after losing out like that, the battle of the Darrens, Darren Moore against Darren Ferguson, and after all that, no Darren is going to be playing in the championship. It's not going to be good. So, managing the championship, my bad. Because of the contract termination at Sheffield Wednesday and the hiring of Cisco Munoz there. But anyway, back to League One. I just think it'll be a similar kind of story like this. It's not going to be a really good season from Peterborough, but it'll be one that's good enough to get you playoffs, so you don't worry. Not the kind of season you want automatic promotion, but yeah, hopefully you won't have another playoff nightmare. Alright, moving on into second place, I am going to comfortably go for Bolton right there. Bolton Wanderers Football Club, shout out to Thogden and Thogdad, amazing predictors, well, at least one of them, and yeah. So, I think that Bolton under Ian Evatt had great recruiting, and they'll do amazing. Ian Evatt is such a great manager, and with the players they have, Santos, other players, what's his name, Buvarson, other great players. This team, they'll have no problem. They'll do just fine. So yeah, please do not worry if you're a fan of Bolton. And then winning the league, I have put Blackpool. No, you're not second. There you go, first place, Blackpool. You're winning the league. You lost Jerry Yates, but you have your miracle-working manager, Neil Critchley, back at the club. So I think that you'll win the league, and not a landslide, but you and Bolton will be those two top dogs, in my opinion. Well, maybe the playoff teams will be the playoff teams and be cut adrift a little bit. But yeah, I have Blackpool and Bolton, automatic promotion. Peterborough, Barnsley, Portsmouth, and Derby to finish inside the playoffs. And then just missing out, Reading, Charlton, Shrewsbury, Wickham, Lincoln, and Wigan. And then mid-table, those kind of middle-of-the-pack teams, I have gone for Oxford, Exeter, Leighton, Orient, and Cheltenham Town. Surviving, Bristol Rovers, Port Vale, Stevenage, Fleetwood Town Football Club, and relegation, Northampton Town, Burton Albion, Cambridge United, and Carlisle United. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like as well as the subscribe button. Without any further ado, I'll see you in a while. Catch you in a while. See ya.